Here's their example of what 1 mole is. Here's 1 mole of sulfur, iron, sodium chloride. This is something weird. This is potassium dichromate. And anybody know what this one is over here? That's sugar. That's glucose. Okay. So here you can see, why is there more glucose than there is sodium chloride? There's more of everything on there, right? There's a whole lot more atoms to 1 molecule of glucose than there is to 1 formula unit of sodium chloride, right? It's a big old molecule, so it's going to take up a lot more space. What do you think the mass of that is? It's pretty high, right, compared to the mass of these others, right? So this is 1 mole. 1 mole of water is about 18 milliliters, because that's 18 grams, right? Hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen. How much is 18 milliliters? Is that hard to drink? Y'all have seen 18 milliliters in a lab, right? In a graduate cylinder? It's not a whole lot. It's like a big mouthful, right? So, how are we going to use molar mass? Well, it had 2 units on it, didn't it? It had grams and it had moles. So we can use it to convert from grams to moles or moles back to grams. Let's take a look. Let's do a couple problems. So, here is a box of table salt, and it contains 737 grams of sodium chloride. How many moles of sodium chloride are in the box? Shall we do this one together, and then y'all do one on your own? Okay. 737 grams of sodium chloride. How am I going to get to moles from grams? Well, molar mass has units of grams per mole, doesn't it? So if I know the molar mass for sodium chloride, I might be able to get there. So 1 mole of sodium chloride has a mass of what? Oh, I gotta get a periodic table, don't I? Somebody give it to me. What's sodium and chlorine? 22.99. Chlorine is 35.45. I can't add that. It's too late in the day. 4, 8, 5. 58.44 grams of sodium chloride. Grams cancel. Okay? This is molar mass. Okay? Grams per mole. 58.44 grams of sodium chloride is 1 mole of sodium chloride. So now what do I have to do? Divide, basically, right? So how many moles do I have here? 737 divided by 58.44 is? 12.6 moles. Now, if you wanted to take that further, could you figure out how many formula units of sodium chloride you had?
Yeah.
How would you do that? How would you go, now that you have moles, how do you get the formula units? What did we do earlier, guys? Yeah, Avogadro's number, okay? Using Avogadro's number. Now, I'm going to do a little sidebar here. Moles is the central thing. If you don't know what else to do, a good guess is to do what? Convert it to moles. Because from moles, we can go to grams. How do we go from moles to grams? We have to use molar mass. Okay? Because the units on molar mass are grams per mole. Where else can we go for moles? We can go to atoms. Or molecules. And how do we get to atoms or molecules? What is Avogadro's number? 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Now, can I go from atoms to grams? It takes 2 steps to get from atoms to grams. Why? Because I don't have a direct path there. I have to go through moles first to get to grams. Or if I'm in grams, I have to go through moles to get to atoms or molecules. Okay? Moles is the central thing here, guys. You have to go through moles, okay? We're going to add other stuff to this later on, okay? Because we're going to go from moles of one thing to moles of something else using a balanced equation. We'll get there. So, all right, we did this part. A sample of water has a mass of 500 or 59.8 grams. How many moles of water are in there? And also, how many molecules? Why don't you do both? We ready? Do the first part. How many 59.8 grams of water. And we want to know moles. What do we have to do? 1 mole of water has a molar mass of 15.02 grams of water. So I come up with 3.32. Okay. How many molecules of water? Well, if I already have moles, how do I go from moles to molecules?
6.02%.
Yeah. 1 mole of water is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. Do what?
Can we round up whenever we get the molecules?
Should round up 3 sig figs. What do you get? 2 point what?
0.
2.00 times 10 to the 24 molecules. Whew. Okay. We survived. I'll see some of y'all in lab tomorrow. The rest of y'all, see y'all on Monday. Don't forget about homework and quiz, okay?